My name is Tom Jones. I'm with P6 Biz Builders. And today we're going to talk about something that stresses a lot of people out this time of year, tax preparation. Now, my main focus today is to focus on business owners, but I'm also going to throw in some stuff about individual taxes because tax planning and tax prep not only affects business owners, it also affects individuals. How can it affect individuals? If you have a W-2 side hustle, investments, a spouse with income, or you're even thinking about retirement, this matters to you as an individual as well. Today is for general education only. This is not tax, legal, or accounting advice. Every business and every family is different. So talk with your own advisors before you make any type of decisions. As you're listening to this, what prompted you to hop on today? Was it a surprise tax bill? Were you behind on the books? Were you confused about the new 1099-S payment apps reporting? Or fears about your current year's taxes? All right, here's the deal. If tax prep makes you anxious every year, and I'm talking about that pit in the stomach, where you just dread getting to this time of year and worry about your taxes. And then you're scrambling in March, April, May, or you even file an extension going into October. Or that feeling is, did I miss something important? This conversation is for you. Now, most owners, they think tax prep is about forms, deadlines, and handling a shoebox of receipts to somebody in March to get it all done. And honestly, that's why it feels stressful, rushed, and expensive, because you're just doing it all last second. I'm not here to shame anyone, because that's what most of us were taught. Tax time happens once a year. You gather everything up, you file, and you hope for the best. But here's the shift I want to give you today. You file once a year, but tax prep should be happening year round. And when you do it that way, tax season gets boring. Boring is good during tax season. Why is boring good? Because you know exactly where you're at. You have no surprises, everything. Before I go any further, let me connect the dots for individuals, because this is a big misunderstanding. A lot of owners think tax planning is a business thing. Yes, business is the main driver, but your business usually flows into your personal life. And even if you're not a business owner, planning still matters for individuals because it affects things like your withholding, the refund, what you owe, your retirement contributions, health insurance, HHA strategy, your investment income, and your cash flow at home, or if you decide to start a side business. How does it affect, or how does it feel when your personal budget is running fine and then all of a sudden you get that big tax season surprise? Big surprise because you owe some money. How does that make you feel? What I've been seeing, if you've been on social media lately, and I've been seeing it as well as everybody else, Facebook groups, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, the same themes keep coming up. I got surprised with what I owe. They didn't have enough cash set aside to pay the bills. My books are behind, and I'm guessing where I'm at because they didn't do any planning during the year. And the third biggest thing that I'm hearing on social media is that with this new payment app reporting, people are getting 1099-S's, and they're saying what counts. You got the Square, the Stripe, the Venmo, the PayPal, and all these other marketplaces that have to report stuff now. So think about it. Walk me through your current setup. Do you look at your numbers monthly, quarterly, or only when it's time to file? What part of tax season is the most frustrating for you? The surprise tax bill, the paperwork, or just not trusting the numbers? What does that cost you in cash, time, or peace of mind when you're guessing instead of planning? If taxes felt boring and predictable, what would that free you up to focus on in your business and at home? Would you be able to find that next sale for your business? Would you be able to plan better at home with your budget, your retirement, all of that? Think about all that. Okay, but first thing, we got to remember, tax prep is not a once-a-year task. Let me say that again. Tax prep is not a once-a-year task. I know you're thinking, but I only file once a year. Yes, you file once a year, but prep, that should be happening year-round because things happen. Every financial decision you make has a tax impact. When you make a big purchase, what do you pay yourself? You think about making a big hire. You change the pricing in some of your products. How does that affect you? You want to invest in new equipment or software for your business to improve. All of that matters because that can affect your taxes for that year. And if you're not planning for it, you may have a surprise at the end of the year. Individuals, it's the same thing. Change jobs, you decide to do a side hustle, you buy or sell a home, you have a big medical expense year. I mean, that happens. You're starting to take retirement distributions. How is that going to affect everything? All of these decisions change your tax outcome, and they don't come February through April. They come throughout the whole year. If you're only looking at taxes at the time you file, you're missing up on 12 months of opportunities where you can make tax decisions and make smarter moves so that you pay only what you're supposed to in taxes. Let me give you an example. Last year I had an owner, he was doing great. His sales were up there. He was doing great. He thought everything was going fine. We filed his tax return. He owed $18,000 that he was not expecting. How did this surprise make him feel? Did it put his business on, did he feel good about his business or did he put him on edge? We changed one thing. We started looking at his monthly numbers and we started putting a little aside into a tax bucket. Just open up another bank account and started putting money in there. Then we started looking at it quarterly At the end of the quarter, we kind of estimate, say, okay, based on this, extrapolate it out for the year. Here's where your taxes would be, and make sure that he's got enough going on there. Guess what? We got to the next tax season for him. Everything was boring because he knew exactly where he was. We've done the planning throughout the whole year. And again, boring is good. Now, here's another thing I cannot emphasize enough to people. Filing taxes and planning for taxes are two completely different things. Filing is based on the history. Remember last week we talked about rearview mirror. Planning, you look forward. It asks, based where I'm at right now, what moves can I make to avoid surprises and pay what I legally owe? No more, nothing less. If nothing changes with the way you're doing things now, where does that leave you 6 to 12 months from now? Both in your business and in your personal expenses and finances. Most business owners are only worried about the filing of the taxes. They don't have a tax plan. And that's the gap that creates the stress. And by the way, this fits into one of my 6 pillars of the beast. That's where the P6 comes from, 6 pillars, because tax planning is pillar 5. But it only works if pillar 1 is solid, which is books are strong and clean and your cash flow is good. When that foundation is in place, you can grow even up to 10 times in 3 years without 10 times stress. That's the goal. Growth with control, and just keep doing the same things over and over again that improve your business. Now, people may ask, what is in a tax plan? Well, let me tell you, a real tax plan is not a guess. It's a simple strategy, covers 3 things. Know your numbers. Number 1, know your numbers, clean bookkeeping, keep current on your profit and loss, and a simple projection so you know where you're headed. You can look at it and say, do I have enough to put away? Question for you. When you look at your numbers, do you feel like you're clear, or are you still guessing at where you're going to be at by the end of the year when you do have to file your taxes? Point 2, know your moves, the right entity, the right pay structure, deductions you can prove, not just deductions that you think you can take. You got to prove them, and plan for those big purchases and your retirement contributions. And yes, this applies to individuals too. Retirement contributions, HSA strategies, withholding adjustments, and timing major life moves. They're all tax effects that happen throughout the whole year. They don't happen just during a certain season. If you had a simple way to know, do this now or wait, would that help you make decisions? Think about that. Point 3 on tax plan, know your rhythm, estimated tax payments, mid-year tax adjustments, quick check-ins so there's no surprises. That's a tax plan. Granted, you get into more detail, but there's 3 major points of the tax plan. Not just waiting until you bring all your information and say, hey, do my tax plan. Now, here's where you're gonna want that pen and pencil. I'm gonna give you some suggestions on how to make this year a lot easier. This is a simple playbook that I can see that owners need right now. Step 1, at the end of January, you're gonna start receiving all of your W-2s, your investment accounts, all of your year-end tax reporting forms are coming to you. Get a tax folder now, don't wait till April. Every time you get something in the mail that's for tax filing, put it in that folder so you don't have to dig around trying to find it. You know exactly right what. It's all in one place. When you arrive, when we're ready to do your tax return, you've got it all right there. Your W-2s, your mortgage statements, your donations, your retirement distributions, all of that, your investment accounts are all in one folder. Now, the next thing is, this is for business owners, but I mean, you could do it for personally too, is reconcile your accounts monthly. Your bank and credit card reconciliations. Being clean is what makes the rest easy. If you don't have to go back, you know, you're in January now and you're trying to go back to January of last year and then do the whole year, you're not going to remember things. If you do it at the end of a month, keep it clean, everything works. And know the payment app truth. There's a new form, the 1099-K. It's a reporting form. It does not mean that you automatically owe more tax, but what it does mean is the IRS can see your gross money coming in from your credit cards, your PayPal, your Venmo, all of that. So make sure you have it in your books, that you're tracking the fees, the refunds, and the real income accurately so that you can prove it, not just think that you can do it. Step 4, have a simple estimated tax rhythm. If you don't have withholding, estimates are normal for people. So just, you know, some business owners, some business owners don't take pay and they just make estimated tax payments and they're taxed on the net income of the company. Again, the goal in all this is to make it boring and simple, and so that there's no penalties or no surprises at the end of the year. If you had this playbook running, how much lighter would tax season feel to you for your business and your household? Cash flow, everything, it's just simple. Boom, boom, boom. You've got that nice rhythm that takes care of it. All right, I'm gonna open up to questions. Drop them in the comments if you have any questions. And if you don't want to post publicly, no problem. You can DM me after this is live. But I'm gonna go through some of the common questions that we get. And if I see any come up, I'll let you know. How do I start if I've never done tax planning before? You start with these 3 steps. Get your books caught up, get them clean, make sure they're accurate. Have somewhere where you can save money for taxes as money comes in. So you actually allocate, if $100 comes in, you can say, I'm going to allocate X percentage into this other account. You can look at prior year history and say, based on my sales volume in the past, my tax estimate has been so much. Remember, that's 1, 2. Get your books, get the bank account, simple place where you can put that money. Number 3, do a quick check-in each quarter to update the estimate and your plan so that you can do this, get that nice rhythm going so that when we get to February, March, and April, it's boring. You've already done everything. If these are an issue, what's been the toughest part about getting your books caught up? Is it time, confidence, or not knowing where to start? Think about that with your books. Okay, common question number 2. What should I do about payment apps and 1099Ks? Big thing, remember, keep your business and your personal separate. Reconcile them monthly. Make sure you track fees and refunds because they're not always going to show up on the 1099K, especially the fees. And make sure your bookkeeping matches what the platform reports. So if you got $100,000 at 1099K credit card, make sure that you got 100 grand of income, and then you subtract out all your fees and everything out over that. Think about this. If your books don't match these reports, what kind of headaches can that cause at tax time for you? Question number 3. I'm not a business owner. Does tax planning still apply? Yes, it does. You have W-2 income, you have side income, you have investments, you have big life changes. Planning still helps you avoid surprises. Sometimes it's as simple as adjusting your withholdings to get it where you want so that you don't owe a lot of money or get a big refund, putting a plan around retirement contributions so that you have enough money when you do retire, or understanding how a decision affects your tax return. If I decide to take money out of my retirement account, what's that going to do to my tax return? If I sell this investment, what's going to happen? I mean, there's all sorts of things that can happen throughout the year that you can plan for so you don't get hit with a big surprise when February, March, and April hit. Common question number 4. How do I know what to pay for estimates? You don't guess. You estimate based on what your current situation is, your current profit and loss, or even if you're looking at W-2 and you say, well, I can't, for whatever reason, you can't adjust your withholdings, you can make an estimated tax payment. You can do that. Remember, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make this as boring as possible so that there's no panic, no surprises when February, March, and April come when you file your tax returns. All right, I hope you found a lot of this information helpful. Well, let me wrap this up with this. Tax prep doesn't need to be stressful. It doesn't need to be a surprise, and it doesn't have to be something that you dread every single year. When you attack it proactively with clean books, a simple plan, and the right support, it becomes manageable, predictable, and yes, boring. And remember, we talked about this before, boring is good because there's no surprises. Do you feel like a simple plan and a simple rhythm would help you get control back in your business or at home? Or does it still feel like, God, I got to add one more thing to my list of things that I got to do? Now I got to add tax planning. Well, tax planning is a non-stressful thing. Takes away the stress in February, March, and April. If you want, my tax season ready checklist plus a simple monthly rhythm, send me a DM that says plan and I'll get it to you. If you want to walk through this, business or personal, book a free 30-minute profit and freedom audit. We'll put the link in the comments. We can talk about it. Again, it's 30 minutes free. No obligation on your part. We can talk about your situation. I can give you some suggestions. You can talk to your advisors after the fact, or we can talk further. And do you know of anybody else, or do you know of any business owners that you may know, of any individuals that you may know that could find this helpful or needs this help? Feel free to pass on this link to this video or have them message me via the link, and they can book a call for free, or just even direct message me and I can talk to them and we can see if we need to set up an appointment. I hope you found this information helpful today. I can't thank you enough for being here today. I appreciate every one of you signing on or viewing this after the fact. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you soon next week with my next Facebook Live. We'll have the topics out early next week. Otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me at any time or set up that free 30-minute profit and freedom audit. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you soon.